Hello, Karen. Hey, Dawn. Oh, just turn my volume off so I don't hear myself echoing. Why do I always forget to do that? Hi, Keely. I'll just put some things here just to give you a taste of what we're going to be doing. Sorry, just chugging some water before I get started. Hey, Barb. All right, I thought I'll just wait until a couple more people arrive and then we'll get started. How is everybody's, oh, hold on, it's Monday here, so how is everybody's Sunday going for most of you? Hi, Xiomara, nice to see you here. Oh, sorry, I've got the sniffs up today. I apologise if I sniff a lot. All right, so let me just get all the other things I'm going to need for today. All right, what am I going to do? And I'm just trying to remember because I don't actually have the card that I'm going to be making today because it's in America at the moment. Because I posted it to Nicole a couple of weeks ago, and I just got a notification yesterday. I don't know, Nicole, if you're here. I got a notification yesterday that the package arrived in America. How long it's going to take to get to you, I don't know, but it's on its way. All right, so we are going to make a rainbow. I know, it's such a cool die. It is such a cool die. We are going to make a rainbow. And honestly, because I don't have the card with me anymore, I have no idea what colours I used in the first place. So I'm just winging it, basically. I mean, I suppose I could pull up on my computer here a photo of it to remind myself. But I mean, does it really matter? A rainbow's a rainbow is a rainbow, so they're all good. I think I've got the right colours. Yeah, I went all the way from red through to purple. I think I'm going to use a different blue though. I'm looking at the photo now and I think I'm using a different blue to what I've chosen here. Alright. Hey Karen, nice to see you. Alright, so this is what I'm going to go with. Okay, so you may have actually seen the card that I'm about to make for you today because it was posted on the Picket Studios Instagram account, not yesterday, the day before. So if you've got your Instagram account there, check it out, you'll be able to see it. And you'll spot it because it's like a rainbow of hearts with a butterfly on it. So not hard to spot. Alright, where on earth is my thingammy? Okay. Just making sure I've got everything. Now, this card is not very complicated. So, if we manage to get through it relatively quickly, we might just make 2 cards. But we'll just have to see. We'll have to just suck it and see, which I know is not a phrase that many Americans know about, but those Australians in here, Trisha, you know, suck it and see. It's just have a go at something, see what happens. It might work, it might not work. Anyway, I'm going to be using this big, beautiful butterfly die. Now, if anyone watched Karen's video yesterday, where she made that gorgeous card with the lacy frame, you would have seen her use that little tool to poke out all the little holes, and it made it so quick and so easy to poke out all the holes from her die cut piece. Now, have you seen this die? It is so intricate. it has all little holes in here that have tiny little openings that you have to poke out all the individual little pieces. And I do not own one of those tools that Karen used. I've now put it on my wish list because I always thought I don't need one of them because I don't have dies that really need that kind of thing. This die needs that kind of thing. So to save you all the frustration and just boredom of watching me poke out all the holes on this die, here's one I prepared earlier. Just like a good cooking show, here's one I prepared earlier, because I thought I will just get frustrated sitting here poking out all the little holes while on a live video, and I can't imagine how it would be for you, just getting so bored. So done one in advance. Okay, so that part of my card is done. All right, so let's get on to card base. There's only really 3 parts to this card. There's the card base, there's the butterfly, which I've already done, and there's a sentiment. And that's it. It's not a complicated card at all. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to mask off some of this. Oops, my masking tape is stuck. Okay. So I've got my die and I'm going to do a rainbow, and I don't know if you saw on Instagram, I only saw it this morning, I can't remember if it was on Michelle's Instagram or on Picket Fence Instagram, but she did the most beautiful shaker card with this stencil, and she actually reversed the colours of the stencil because of course, the colours of the rainbow I mean, because a rainbow traditionally has red at the top and purple at the bottom. But she reversed it and she had purple and blue at the top and went down to red at the bottom. I'm going to completely throw it on its head, and I'm not going to do that at all. I'm going to start with red over here and go over to purple over here. Because this is not a science class, it's a card making video. And I can do what I want. Hey Deborah, nice to see you. Alright, so I am going to just mask that off. And I'm going to pop that about there. I'm just going to see if that kind of works. That kind of works. Because I want most of the butterfly to have colour behind it, but not all of it. I want a few little bits dangling off the top and the bottom. Alright, so that means the bottom bit I want, because I want it to be like pretty balanced with what I've masked off at the top and what I've masked off at the bottom. But from that, I think that'll work. I think that'll work. So, yeah, if you've come here to see a video of somebody who meticulously rules out and measures out their spaces on their cards, you've come to the wrong place. I'm all about just eyeballing things to get them in the right place. Alright, but I want the rainbow to be sort of within the colour bit, so I don't want like half a heart up here. I want that sort of within there, but of course I'm not going to be using all of that rainbow. You know what? I'm gonna make it a bit wider on both sides. I'm just gonna move my masking so it's just a little bit. Yeah, I know. I'm living on the edge, Trisha. I know. I'm becoming less scientific in my old age. Alright, now is that going to work? Alright, that's fine. Yeah, that'll work, because I've got still a little bit of the butterfly hanging off the top and the bottom. Yeah, that will work. Now, also, I am not, because this die has fairly regular openings that are sort of not, there's no real thin lines that can budge and move in this stencil. Did I just say die? Stencil. I'm not even going to bother with pixie spray to stick it down. I'm just going to shift it so that it's centered. Oh, I did it again. And I'm just making sure that that heart there at the top is below my masking line there, and I'm just going to stick them down. Yes, I know I'm using a lot of this mint tape, but I do reuse it. Oh, I'm too far over. Ah! Why didn't somebody tell me I was too far over? It was very uneven from left to right. Very uneven from left to right. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, this mint tape, I have like plastic tubs just sitting over to my right. And you can see, I'll show you, I have little bits of mint tape just sitting there that I've used, but I can reuse them. I always reuse them. So don't get stressed by the amount of mint tape that I'm using, because they will get reused. Alright. What did I do? I just got rid of, I touched my computer screen and it closed my window so I couldn't see myself. I just want to make sure that you can see, I can see what you're seeing. Alright, so let's get started on this stenciling. So, usually what I do because what I want to do is I want to have the hearts a darker shade of each of the colours, and then in the background I'm going to have a paler shade of the colours, so it'll be tone on tone but in a rainbow. Usually when I do that, I colour in the background first and then add the stencil and go over it, but I want to know exactly where my colours are going to go, so I'm going to do the hearts first. So I am going to add a fair amount of colour to start with. Alright, so I'm starting with banded coral. Yeah, exactly, Tricia, until they don't stick anymore. Exactly. See, you all know what I'm talking about. You all know. I'm just getting out all of my life-changing blender brushes. So I've got them all ready in the right spot. Geez, this colour looks so orange on my screen. Does it look orange to anybody else on your screen? It's absolutely not. It's red. But it looks orange. Anyway. Okay, next up is Spiced Marmalade. It is a beautiful dye. There's actually quite a few dyes with hearts. So there's a slimline version of this, and there's also one that goes around in a full circle. So yeah, this one is particularly sized to fit a standard size card front. So a lot of the dyes that Picket Studios releases nowadays, if they are actually labelled as an A2 dye, it doesn't mean the dye itself is A2 sized, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It means that it is designed to fit nicely on the front of an A2 card. So, alright, next I'm going to go super duper heavy with the Squeezed Lemonade, because it is the palest colour that I'm using. I want it to be as intense as I can. Alright, now next, what have we got? I've got Mowed Lawn. Do I want Mowed Lawn? Yeah, we'll do Mowed Lawn. I'm always indecisive with the greens. Hey, Brienne! Look! These inkstands are from the company called The Inkstand, which is Brienne's company. And she super generously gave me some of her inkstands for Christmas because she's awesome. So everybody cheer for Brienne right now. Yay! Inkstands are fabulous. Alright. Inkstands and life-changing blender brushes. Match made in heaven. Match made in heaven. Alright. Next one is Salty Ocean. Okay. Oops, didn't get very much on there. I always, for some reason, Oh, Brienne, we've got a mutual admiration society happening here, haven't we? What was I saying? Yes, for some reason, whenever I do rainbows, I always do too much of the red, orange and yellow and then leave not enough space for the blue and the violet at the end. So if you ever see a card of mine where I do a rainbow that is missing the purple, I probably didn't plan it that way. I probably planned it with all the colours and then took up too much space with the red, orange and yellow and then went, oh, I don't have space for my purple. But this makes it easy because I knew that, well, I've got 180 degrees here. As soon as I get to 90 degrees, I need to be able to start the green. So it's a little bit, oh, don't worry, getting some purple. I'm going to overlap the blue and the purple. I always love overlapping specifically Wilted Violet and Salty Ocean, because the blue colour that you get in between Salty Ocean and Wilted Violet is just to die for. To die for. Alright, let me think. I think I'm going to add a little bit more green. I think. Oh, good, Kelly, I'm not the only one. Hey, Kelly, I didn't see you pop in. Hey, how you doing? Kelly is a fellow Aussie. Alright, just want to get that green a little bit more intense. And that's the other problem I have. And I've said this in previous videos as well, I need to be careful to preserve the yellow because it's really, really easy to overdo it with the other colours and they all bleed into the yellow and you end up with not enough yellow. Alright, so I am going to remove just the stencil, but not these masks. Okay, I'm gonna just pop that aside. That can be cleaned off later. It's not going to dry hard on it or anything like that. And now I'm going to go back in. Oops, sorry, just everything moved. I'm going to go back in with the same colours, exactly the same colours. But, yeah, I know, removing the stencil is always the best bit. This time I'm going to go really gently. And the way I always go gently with my life-changing blender brushes. I don't know if you noticed, when I was doing that colouring, I was holding the head of the brush, and that allowed me to get a fairly intense application. Do you see that blue in there? Do you see that blue where they overlap? Mwah! Alright, but when I want a really pale colour, which is what I want for the background here, I tend to just hold them by the handle and just go gently. And I don't grab the actual head of the brush. Alright, so I do tap off onto my work surface. I can wipe that up later with a baby wipe to make sure I don't have too much colour on my brush. Okay. Oh, hi Amanda, nice to see you. It always feels weird saying nice to see you when I can't see you at all. But I'm imagining you in my head. Alright, so just gently trying to give a bit of a blend between the orange and the red here. And trying to make sure it is fairly pale in the background. Okay. I've got a little rainbow happening here on my work surface. Alright. Now I'm trying carefully down here. No, it's not smudging the hearts. Even if it does smudge the hearts, I don't care. With this card, doesn't worry me. In some especially with Distress Oxides, because they do take a while to dry, because they have that pigment property to them. They will smudge a bit, but that's okay. If I was really intent on not getting a smudgy look with this kind of stenciling, I would do it in the reverse. I would have done the background first and then put the stencil on and stenciled the image second. But I'm not that concerned with them smudging. Yeah. Now, as I was saying, down here, I don't want to mix the colours too much, because if I mix all the colours down here too much, I'm going to end up with mud. Because mixing colours that are next to each other in the colour wheel is perfectly fine, and you get gorgeous blends like this blue here in between the Salty Ocean and the Wilted Violet. But if you mix red and green, you're going to get brown. And down here is where I risk doing that, because that's where they're all sort of joining together. So I'm just trying to be careful not to do that. Okay, next up is Salty Ocean. Trying to get it light, but I need it to be dark enough to actually be seen. There's no point in adding it if you can't see it. Alright, that'll do for the blue. Now, this purple is probably the one that I need to be most careful with when I want a really pale application, because it's very easy to go overboard. So I'm hardly putting any pressure on this at all, because it can come out quite dark. So just being super careful, super careful. Alright, that'll do. That'll do me. Alright, so let me just put my brushes back and move that over there. I'll just, because I know I'm going to put the card in it. If I don't, I'm going to just wipe up my little puddles of colour here. See, and when I wiped them together, I got brown. See? It's exactly what I'm talking about. Don't want brown on my card. I want rainbow. Okay, so that's that. And I'm just putting my tape over on my little plastic tub. This particular tape, mint tape from scrapbook.com, really good. Melissa, who sometimes comes to these lives, she's also an Australian, and she sent me some a little while ago, and it's brilliant. So yeah, highly recommend. Alright, so now I've got my rainbow. Oh, you like my shirt, thank you. It's very old, but it's a little bit humid in Melbourne today. So yeah, that's why I've got that shirt on. Alright, so now I've got my butterfly on top. And what I'm going to do is get some black cardstock. And this is Hero Arts black cardstock, and this is going to be for my sentiment. So my sentiment is just going to be a black strip right across the middle of the card, right from left to right, overlapping that butterfly. And my sentiment that I'm going to use is one of my favourite, because it always makes me think of singing. You make me happy when skies are grey. So yes, I always like this one. Alright, so yes, mint tape is awesome. Alright, Now, do I want... Now that's too big. That can fit in there. I just need to cut down my piece of cardstock. Is that going to be wide enough? Who cares if it's wide enough for the sentiment? I need to make sure it's wide enough for the card, and no, it's not. So let's cut it this way. Alright, I'm going to cut that to basically a card front size. Also, I have a little container over here that has all of my little offcuts of black. You never, ever, ever, never get rid of scraps of black cardstock. They all go into, oops, my little wallet here for later use. And they do get used. They absolutely do. Okay. Yeah, Deborah, I love this song. And I wonder if you know, I think most people know now, that song, You Are My Sunshine, was written by Charlie Chaplin. So there you go. If you didn't know that, little bit of trivia for you. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Yep, Charlie Chaplin. You make me happy when skies are grey. Alright, so I'm just trying to make sure this is straight. Not that it matters. I mean, I could make it into a rainbow shape if I really wanted to, but I don't want to today. I want it to be straight. And the good thing about using a MISTI is when you put the lid down, you can see the lines and make sure that it's actually straight. I know the second verse is really sad. I don't sing the second verse. I never sing the second verse. Am I confused? I'm actually confused. That's not the song I was thinking of that was written by Charlie Chaplin. The song that was written by Charlie Chaplin was Smile. Smile when your heart is aching. That one. I'm confused. Now I'm going to have to look up, when I get off, who actually wrote You Are My Sunshine. Maybe it was Charlie Chaplin as well. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't the song I was thinking of. So I'm leading you all astray. I apologise. I should stick to what I know. But they're both songs that are happy and sad at the same time. Both You Are My Sunshine and Smile. Okay, I'm going to, please don't look, at my Versamark ink pad. It is, on its last legs. So I'm keeping it for when I'm stamping onto dark cardstock, because if I was to use this on white cardstock and then clear emboss, it certainly wouldn't be clear. Jimmy Davis wrote, thank you, Brianne. Jimmy Davis, thank you. See, I'm lying to you. I do apologise. Got it mixed up. Alright, so I think that will do me. And I've just realised I didn't use my powder tool on this. Nobody stopped me. You're all sitting there watching me emboss onto black cardstock, and you didn't stop and say, you need to use embossing anti-static powder. Nobody. We'll just have to hold our breath and hope for the best and get out my little paintbrush. Yeah, I'm going to need to get out my little paintbrush. Will I... I have this... I have this paintbrush, which is a 20-0. I don't know if you can even see the brush on the end of there. It's from back in the day. I used to do like folk art painting many years ago, and this brush was fabulous. Oh, I've got a bit of fluff there. This brush was fabulous for really, really fine lines when you're outlining things. Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Don't forget to use your powder. I'm too busy lying about who wrote You Are My Sunshine to remember to use my anti-static powder tool. Anyway, so yeah, I have all these little fine paintbrushes that never got used until I thought, hey, they would be absolutely perfect for when I forget to use my anti-static powder tool. So I keep them here in with my like bone folder and fan brush and stuff for when I muck up. All right, well, word of warning, I'm going to use the heat tool, so sorry, you won't be able to hear me. Eyeliner brushes, that's an idea. That would be helpful if I wore makeup, which I don't. Alright, that's good. Alright, so let me just get my... Now, quite often, with a sentiment like this, I will cut like around the ascenders and descenders of letters, so like I'd cut a line here and then fussy cut around these letters and then cut here and then fussy cut around those letters. But not today. I just want this to be just straight across. That's all I want. Okay. So my black goes into that little... Alright, so there's my sentiment. Now, there are a couple of little spots on there that I might fill in with some white gel pen. And that's just because this cardstock, Hero Arts cardstock, it's not perfectly smooth. So when you white emboss onto it, I find that sometimes I just get little bits of the stamp that miss because the cardstock is textured. It's not a problem, you just go over it with a white gel pen, but I'm not going to go over it with a white gel pen just yet because I did that the other day. I got a sentiment, I filled it in, and then I went to put it on the card, and when I put it on the card, I pressed it down and went, and the white gel pen went smear. Ugh. So, just do what I say, not as I do. Don't do that. Just add your little white gel pen fixer-uppers right at the very end of making the card. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that this is, I mean, I cut it to 5.5, the black, but sometimes it's just a smidge off, but no, that looks good. There's a little bit here that just needs a bit of fuzzy because my paper trimmer blade needs replacing. Okay, now what I did with the other card is I actually glued the whole butterfly down and then glued the sentiment on top. But I quite like the idea of the butterfly sort of having bits that are a bit sort of open, sort of flying free, as we would say. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick just in the middle here and leave the rest free. And then I'm going to pop up the sentiment on some foam adhesive. Just adhere, just little middle bits here. Just like that, I think will do. And just pop him on. So yeah, a little bit goes over the top, a little bit goes over the bottom. Try and get it straight would be helpful. There we go, that's better. And then might just use some of this foam, these foam strips. Love these foam strips for things like this because it just saves a lot of time. And I'm just, oh, I don't know, I'm all thumbs today and I just stabbed myself with my scissors. Jeez. Alright, that'll do, right there. Oh, I'm all thumbs. I'm all thumbs. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright, let's see if I can get this straight. I really like this black work surface, except when I'm doing things like this. So, everything else is great, but when I'm trying to stick something onto something that's black, it's like, oh, I wish I had a paler coloured work surface. Hey Connie, nice to see you. I'm glad you're enjoying me stabbing myself with my scissors. No, I know you're enjoying making a rainbow card with me. Alright, and that is done. But as I said, if we manage to get this one done comparatively quickly, we might just make another one. Oh, okay, the foam strips that I'm using are from Stampin' Up. I've had them for yonks. Absolutely yonks. So, I'm just going to put my stamp back. Now, what I was thinking of doing for my second card today, again, I haven't made this second card. This will be the first time I make it, but I'm going to use the same recipe as what I'm trying. I didn't actually bleed, didn't break skin. I just, prodded myself. But yes, hands up who has actually bled onto a card before now. Yes, I think all of us have done that. Okay, so that can go away, and that can go over there. And let me show you what I have for my second card. As I said, same recipe as the first one. So, stencil in the background, pretty die cut over the top, black banner with white sentiment, yeah? We're going to do the same. However, the other die, fancy one that came out in the release was the bee, which is really cool. And I thought, well, what die could I use for the bee? And luckily enough, Picket has a honeycomb die, don't they? Which is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Alright, so let's... But I'm going to do some stuff different, I think. Because if we did everything the same, that would be boring. Now, yet again, I knew you would be bored with me die cutting that out and punching out all the little bits. However, this one is a lot easier to punch out all the bits because there aren't as many bits and the bits are bigger than in the butterfly. But I still die cut it out. So here's one I prepared earlier. So we can pop that away. And I've got a card base and I've got my... Okay, so this stencil is really interesting because it has sort of, let me show you, the width of the lines here is narrower than the width of the lines in the center, and then it goes out to slightly narrower again. So it sort of gets the walls of the cells in the honeycomb are wider in the centre and narrower towards the edge. That's just interesting. Adds a little interest to it. Alright, but what I want to do, I have that, and what sentiment do you think? I've pulled out a sentiment set to use. So I'm just chucking everything on the bed behind me so I don't make a mess. This one. Thank you for all the little things. I like that one. Yeah. Okay. Now, because this thank you for all the things, and these come with matching dies, these sentiments, but I want to do the same thing of have like a banner across the card. I'm thinking I might, how big is it? Thinking I might make it a portrait card with, again, a banner across the middle, but have the honeycomb sort of across in an angle like that, I think. But I'm not gonna, what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna mask it off like I did the previous one. I'm just gonna sort of blend it out. So I will stick my, see, reusing my masking tape. Alright, and this time, because it's honeycomb, I must, it's compulsory to use, where is it? Do I have it? I don't. I don't have wild honey in Distress Oxide. I only have it in Distress Ink. I can't use wild honey. How terrible. Let me just pull it out. No. So what I've got, I have scattered straw, and I have fossilised amber, and I have squeezed lemonade, and I have spiced marmalade. So I don't think I'm going to use the squeezed lemonade. That's a bit too... I know I don't have wild honey. I'm not afflicted with full set syndrome. So I'm going to start with these two. And I'm going to stick this down so it doesn't budge. Oh, what did I do? I pressed something on my computer screen. Every time I accidentally touch my computer screen, it disappears. Yeah, so I've got scattered straw. And we'll fossilise amber. So I'm going to go... No, I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do... I'm going to start with the spiced marmalade. No, I'm not. God, changing my mind. So this is what happens when I make a card when I've not made it before, is I just faff around, not knowing what I'm going to do. Yeah, I know. I don't have wild honey. All right, so fossilised amber. Like that. And I'm going to go just a hint. Did the colour change? That's weird. Okay, now I've got spiced marmalade. I'm going to put the teeniest amount of spiced marmalade just in a few little bits. And see, I'm holding my brush way back because I want hardly any. So I'm not putting much pressure on it at all. I just want to give a little bit of difference here and there, because when you actually see a honeycomb, not all the cells are the same colour. So that was fossilized amber and spiced marmalade. But now, I'll change my brush back to the yellow brush. I just have like one brush for each of the colours of the rainbow. Some colours get 2 brushes because blue gets 2 brushes because blue is my favourite, and also you have light blue and dark blue. But now I'm going to go with the scattered straw, and again lightly just go around adding some colour to the background. So the stencil's no longer there, and I'm just adding some of the palest colour. So a little bit different to the rainbow, because in the rainbow I used exactly the same colour for the stenciling as for the background in each little area. But this I'm using actual different colours. Alright, so let's take a lot of, I'll separate them out later on. And I'll put that over there. Now, do I want it that way? Or do I want it that way? I think I like it like this because long story, it's because I'm a nerd, and I know that when a bee comes back to its hive, the little dance that it does has to do, basically it's to tell all the other bees in the hive where the nearest nectar is and where a big stash of nectar is. And basically it's to do, the direction is to do with the angle between the bee and the honeycomb. That tells them the angle of the sun and where the nectar is. So yeah, yes, if you didn't already know, I'm a nerd. Okay, let me just see. Now I'm changing my mind, which I always do when I make cards. I'm changing my mind about this sentiment because I kind of don't want to cover up the bee. Maybe I can, yeah, I could put it down there, but it's, yeah, I kind of want a smaller sentiment. I'm wondering if I have a shorter one. I'm thinking happy day, and I'm thinking I might just stamp it down there. So now, sorry, Karen, you're running over all over and getting the links. This is more fancy sentiments, because happy day is a shorter sentiment. That's why what I was looking for, because just with this card design, I didn't feel like having something going right across the middle. I don't know. What do we think? Let's have a vote. Who wants to see a black banner across the middle, like on the previous card? So vote 1 for black banner, vote 2 for stamp happy day. Right, number 1 or number 2? Number 1, black banner with thank you for all the little things. Number 2, stamp happy day. I'll wait for your responses. Alright, first vote in for 2. 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. Alright, I think the 2s are winning it so far. Yep, right, we're going to go with 2s. Yep. See, this is what you come here for, is card making by committee. We have to have our vote on what we want. Basically because Michelle is indecisive. But it's all good. It's all good. Alright, so let me just place it. I want part of the bee to be overlapping it intentionally, like there. And I think I'm going to adhere the bee so that just some of its wings are just slightly over the edge of the card, just slightly. And don't worry, it'll still fit in an envelope, because if you've ever seen me making cards before, I've talked about it. Oh God, I just made it crooked. Jeez. The card bases I use are not 5.5 by 4.25. They are 5.5 by 4 1/8, and that's because some of the specialty cardstock that I use, especially Yupo, which I use a lot of, when I buy it in Australia, it's A4, and half of A4 widthwise is not 4 1/4. It's 4 1/8. So I just cut down everything to 5.5 by 4 1/8. And most people don't notice until I come to put on a die that really should fit on a card front and doesn't. Alright, now I'm playing with fire here because I've used Distress Oxides here, and I'm stamping over the top of it in a hybrid ink. Now I sometimes, and my hybrid ink needs re-inking, I sometimes find that Distress Oxides resist black ink on top of them. So all I need to do is just stamp it a few times. So this is why we use the Misty, hey? Oh, Trisha, you know it. You know exactly who I'm going to send this to. Anna Karukin. Hello. Yeah, every time I make a bee card, it gets sent to Trisha and my friend Anna, who is an apiarist. That's what she does. And she also is an apiarist educator as well, which is really cool. So yes, this card will be going to her. And I don't think I'm going to be able to wait until her birthday, because her birthday's in August. That's too far to wait. Alright, let me just put this stamp back where it belongs. And now this one, unlike the other one, this one is absolutely going to require some gemstones. Absolutely. I think the other one could get away with not having any gemstones because it was rainbow and all happy and everything. This one, because it is quite monotone, yeah, it's going to need... Now, do I want... I think I am actually going to stick these little tendrils down, because they're very easy to knock and bend. So I'm just going to make sure that each one on the end gets a little bit of glue. I'm not going to go right to the end of the wings, because I know I'm going to have them overlapping the edge of the card, and I don't want glue exposed on the back of my card, because I'm the one who's going to put my hand in it, and then it'll get stuck in an envelope and just be not good. Alright, so I don't need to put glue all the way along everything, because that's just a recipe for getting glue squidging out underneath your die. Just a little bit here and there should be fine. Just put my stick back in there. Alright, I'm just going to grab my tweezers to place this, because it's now covered in glue. Oops. Ah, that one good. Try again. There we go. So I don't want heaps of it hanging off the edge. That'll do. Now, some gemstones, and one of my favourite sets of gems from Picket Fence that sits in my top drawer right within reach at all times. is this. It is called Sands of Time. And I'm just gonna, what I tend to do is I tend to tip most of the gems out, and then the ones that are left tend to be all lined up nicely facing the right way. And then I find them easier to pick up. Now, watch me live on the edge. I'm not even going to place the gems. I'm just going to go straight in and add heaps. So, and I'm not even going to plan where I'm going to put them. I'm just going in. And this, for those of you who've seen me make cards before, you're probably going, oh my God, is Michelle sick? No, I know that if I've never made a card before, it's going to take me ages to place the sequins or the gemstones, and you guys are going to get bored senseless watching me go, I don't know, maybe one over here, maybe two over there, I don't know. So I'm just going for it. What I do tend to do is put things in visual triangles and in groups of 2 or 3 of either differing sizes or differing colours. So I'm actually, so there's different colours in here. There's sort of an amber colour, a yellowish colour, and a white, a clear. So I'm just using all of those. And at the moment I've got 4 clusters. I'm going to need another cluster. Another big one over here. I'm putting lots, which is also unlike me, but hey, I think it's going to be good. Another cluster down here, I think, just to ground it. And I'm thinking, I don't even know what colour I picked up then. Thinking that might, one more, right there. Hey, that'll do. Leave me here, hooray! And now I'm thinking, it's looking empty up here. That's a lot of gems. That's better. Just that one up there balances it off. That's a lot of gems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, I can't have that. Have to have an odd number. But seriously, 17 gems? What has come over me? What on earth? What on earth? But they're pretty. There we go. So this is the problem with adding lots and lots and lots of gems, is once you start, you just feel like you want to keep going. You want to keep going. But, I mean, most of those gems blend in beautifully with those ink colours that I've used. So they're not like real contrast, and they're quite small, the gemstones. So they're not, I don't think they're overpowering, really. At least I hope they're not. I hope they're not. Alright, so, yeah, Jen, exactly. You can never have too much bling. Alright, so there's the 2 cards that I have made today. Let's have a bit of a close up. Okay, so nice and rainbow. So that's not identical, but very, very similar to the one that was already posted on Instagram. And this one, brand new. Brand new today. Never made before. I really like the fact that you all voted. Well, not everybody voted, but most of you voted for the stamped sentiment down there, because I think the black would have been just, it would have absolutely overwhelmed the poor bee. Oh, all right. And it's 12 o'clock on the dot. Oh, couldn't have planned it better. Could not have planned it better. All right, so thank you very much, everybody, for coming today and watching me faff around and stab myself in the hand with my scissors and all of that, and just go completely overboard with gemstones. But hey, when you've got them, use them. Just a reminder. Oh no, no reception on the beach. That's no good. Keep in mind that this is only number 3 of 7 in 7 videos. So we still have, there's going to be one more video from me, there's going to be one more video from Daniel, and there's going to be 2 more videos from Nicole. So every day this week, same time, same bat times, same bat channel, and keep on keeping on with your comments, because as every month, Karen will be choosing some winners from amongst the commenters on these videos to win some vouchers to Picket Fence Studios. So thank you very much for coming, and we'll see you in the next few videos this week. Bye!